Hey everybody, welcome back to Berry Cubing 101. My name is Joe, his name is Buster. Together we're going to show you how to solve the L cube. Yeah, and this is going to be going back to what I taught you in season number 4. When the cube is locked, there's procedures and techniques that you can use to, understand that it is in fact locked, and then how to go about unlocking it to make it solvable again. Okay, so this is a pretty good basic cube. People are having some, a little bit of issues solving this, and with all cubes, it comes down to has someone actually showed you how to solve the cube properly. I've got a ton of cubes out here that, even I don't know how to solve them because, no one's ever really showed me, or I can't find a video that's clear enough, so, it just comes down to, has somebody showed you the proper solving technique? Okay, so let's just get right onto it. So if you have the cube, scramble it up and we'll get started. Okay, so in step number 1, I'm going to show you how to simply scramble the cube. And let's just get a good feel of the layout. So we'll say that white's on top, red's facing us, green on our left, blue on the right, but this here blue is an extremity, and so is this orange. So basically what you're really looking at is, a 3x3, so 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3, and so, this portion right here is basically your standard 3x3 cube. And it has this attachment to it and this attachment to it. So that's basically what you're looking at. And the first thing I like to do when scrambling it is I'd like to scramble these attachments. Okay, so basically you just do any series of moves, okay, that swaps out these attachments. And it doesn't affect the 3x3 at all. Okay, all you're doing here is swapping pieces back and forth between this here and this one here. Okay, now that we have that sufficiently scrambled, let's go ahead and shape shift and scramble the rest of the cube. And you just do that by a series of moves, just like you would any other cube. And just make sure you do a few face turns. Okay, so this would be like the front face right here. You do use that as your right. This is your D. Okay, this is your L. And the back. All right, turn that a few times, and rather quickly, you'll find that the cube has shape-shifted into something unrecognizable as the L cube. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and scramble this up a little bit more, and then we'll get started with step number 2. Okay, now I've scrambled this up a little bit. We're going to continue on with step number 2, and in step number 2, the first thing I'm going to do is locate this white centerpiece right here. Okay, mine just happens to have some writing on it. I believe it says Kelvins. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a cross here. I just happen to see that there's a white red. So let's go ahead and turn this so that red matches red. And then let's find a white green piece. There's a white green right here. Let's turn this so that this matches up with a green centerpiece. And so they're right here. What you can do is after you've mashed them up, you turn it so that you have white to white, green to green. Okay, see that green to green right there? So it's white to white, green to green. And then over here it's white to white and red to red. Okay, so now that you have this white and green piece in, let's put a white piece here and a white piece, just below this one. See how this one's extruded from this one? So let's just go ahead and find another white piece. Okay, so we have a white piece right here. And what you're going to do is you're just going to turn this off to the side and then turn it up. Okay, so here's the white red, here's the white green, and we just placed this one right here. Let's find the last white piece to form our cross. Okay, we're going to have to put it right there. It's here. So let's turn this off to the side. And this is basic 3x3 strategy. Turn that up. Okay, and then we turn this one off to the side. So let's return that. Okay, so ignoring this white piece for right now, we have our white center piece, and it's in the shape of a cross, right? And we want to make sure we have red to red, and we have green to green. And let's continue on. We'll place this piece, this white piece, a white piece here, underneath this one, and underneath this one. So let's start with this. This is a white green. So it obviously doesn't fit there because, well, it needs to be next to a green. So using your 3x3 strategy, just bring it down to the bottom. Okay, so it's down here. Turn it off to the side. And I just happened to replace it with the correct piece. All right. I didn't plan it. It just kind of worked out that way. So it's white to white, red to red. And, that happens a lot to me, I guess. But, here's the white-green piece. And that's going to happen to you, too, So here's a white, right, green side. So the white-green piece, this one right here, white-green, needs to go in this corner, right? So using your 3x3 strategy, you're just going to bring that down, take that green, match it up with this green. The whites match up, turn it back up, and that piece is in. There's a white right here. Obviously, that's not correct. So let's, using your 3x3 strategy, bring it down to the bottom row, right? Move it out of the way. Return this, okay? I know that this white blank, because there is no other piece here, it's just a white piece, is going to belong right here, because here we're going to need a white, green, and red piece to go right there. And this piece is in its place correctly, and this piece is actually placed correctly, so it has to go there. So bring this position down, take the white, put it into place, and bring it up. And lastly, we're going to need the white, green, and red piece to go right there. So let's search for that. Here it is right here. So we're going to have to rotate this piece right here because we want the white facing us. So again, 3x3 strategy. Right? So you bring it down to the bottom row. Move it out of the way, bring this down, pop it in, and bring it back up. All right, and just like that, you have step number 2 complete, where you have the white cross and you placed this piece, this one, and this one correctly. Okay, and again, you're going to have red to red and green to green. Let's move on to step number 3. Okay, so in step number 3, what we're going to do is we just completed this side right here, okay, the white side. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this white and we're going to flip it over so that it's on the bottom. Okay, so white on the bottom. And what we're looking to do in step number 3 is place this piece correctly, this one, and this one, okay? And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to take pieces from the top. And so, for example, this red piece right here would fit in nicely on the red side. So this is the red side over here, right? So indicated by red. But I can't place this piece here from this position because if I do a test fit, it's not facing the correct way. So what I want to do is make sure I get it facing the correct way. So I'm going to continue turning this so that it's over here. When I turn this down, okay, it fits correctly. That's just a test fit. Okay, so now you know that it's orientated correctly. Let's hold it so that it's facing you. You know it's going to go to the right. And, using your edge placing algorithm, you can get that in there. So it's URUIRI UI LIU and L. Okay, and that is placed correctly. Let's go ahead and find let's use this one, this green one right here. Again, I can't put this piece in this position just yet from here, because if I do a test fit, it's not facing the correct way. It's facing off to my right. I want it facing me, So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it in this position right here. All right, let's test fit this. It's right here. It's right here. We're going to put it right here. We're actually going to knock this piece out, because this green piece actually belongs over here between the red and the green, or red and green. So I know that this piece is placed correctly. So let's go ahead and, or it's correct position for right now. So let's put this piece here. Okay, and that piece is placed correctly. Let's place this piece right here. I know it's in its correct position, because if I turn it down, it's it's red to red and green to green. So let's go ahead and put this piece in this position. URUIRI UI FI UF. Okay, and that piece is placed correctly. Okay, so now if you just look at the cube here, the bottom has been unaffected and is correct. And this piece, this one, are all correct. So you have 3 reds and 3 greens. Okay, so let's move on to step number 4. Okay, so now we're in step number 4. And what I did was I had, I scramble up the cube just a little bit so I can demonstrate something for you. But I just left the reds intact and the greens intact. And what I wanted to demonstrate to you is that before we move on, I'm going to turn the cube and I'm going to show you that there's pay no attention to this top, okay? Forget about the top for right now. What we're looking at is the bottom layer and this layer right here. Now, like if on this white side right here, the bottom layer, you see that it's totally complete. It's an L shape, okay? So here and here, this is all complete. But I can't say the same about this one right here, because I'm missing a piece here and I'm missing a piece there. So to continue on from this point, we have to place pieces here. Right, and the way that we're going to do that is we're going to find a situation up on top that has one sticking up and one sticking down, right, just like this. And what I want to do is, if you hold it like this and you turn it down to test fit it, it will fit. Okay, so we're going to hold it just like this, and we're going to take these pieces, we're going to put them here just to fill this up a little bit. So we're going to go URUIRI UI, FI, U, and F, okay? And what that did was it placed the 2 pieces that were up on top right there. So we filled it up, okay? So this is complete down here, and these 2 pieces are in, so that's complete. And now we can move on to part 2 of step number 4. Okay, so what I did was I reshuffled the cube a little bit just to better illustrate what it is I'm talking about, but nothing else has changed other than the top. You still have your reds, your greens, and the 2 pieces that we just placed. And what I want you to focus on here is the yellows. And I want a yellow cross. So I have 1, 2, 3 out of the 4 pieces correct. And this is there's going to be 2 scenarios. You're going to either run into this where 3 are correct and 1 is wrong, or you're going to have two of them wrong, or you may have 3 of them wrong. But if you run into this case where you only have 1 wrong, well, then there's only one thing you can do to fix this. And so let me show you how to do that. And then after I show you how to do fix this scenario, I'll show you how to fix a different scenario. Okay, so we are not going to utilize this corner while doing fixing this, because we don't want to mess up the reds and we don't want to mess up the greens. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it way back here. Remember the two pieces that we just put in? Well, we're taking them back out. So have it face you. The two pieces we just put in. Okay, that's going to be to our right. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and put it here using the edge swap algorithm, which is U, R, UI, RI, UI, FI, U, and F. Okay, so the yellow green piece is right there. And now we're going to rotate these pieces. All right, so the pieces that were here are now way back here. Bring that back. Okay, have them face you. The piece that the yellow green piece is going to be on your right. Do the exact same algorithm. U, R, UI, RI, UI, FI, U, and F. Okay, replaces these pieces here, and the yellow green comes up on top. Okay, so now you have your yellow cross. Okay, let me show you a different scenario. Okay, so I just scrambled the cube a bit so I can demonstrate another scenario. Remember, we want to get the yellow cross on top, okay, but in this case, we don't have any of them that are rotated correctly. That's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, and that one's wrong. So in this case, just hold it from anywhere. One facing you, one to the right. Okay, see how that one's to the right and that one's facing you. Go F, U, R, UI, RI, FI. Okay, and then when you flip it up, you see that two of them are correct. Okay, so you have this one and this one, the opposite, right? Just turn it so that you have one here. And let's do this. This one needs to flip. So go F, U, R, UI, RI, FI. Okay. So you have these two correct. Now you have two of them that are next to each other that need to flip. So one facing you, one to your right, and go F, U, R, UI, RI, FI. Okay, and then you're going to end up with the yellow cross. Okay, so that's how you go about solving for the yellow cross. Let's move on to step number 5. So in step number 5, I can tell you right off the bat that I'm going to have to do a couple of demonstrations on this right now, because I don't want to screw this up, because it's actually in a good position for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to go with it the way it is. Right now you can notice that we have the yellow cross, and this piece is in its correct position because you have yellow, yellow, red to red. This piece is in its correct position, yellow, yellow, green to green. Okay, later I'm going to show you what to do if that did not work out the way it did for me. But we're going to continue solving this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece. So these 4 corners. So with corners, I already know that the cube is locked. And the reason I know that is because I know that this piece is correct and this piece is correct. Yellow, yellow, and red to red, and yellow to yellow. But this piece actually belongs over here. That's the yellow green. It belongs there. And this 3-color piece, yellow, red, and green, belongs over here. So I know that the cube is locked. So let's talk about, remember we were talking about the script and undescript pieces? Well, that's what we're looking at here. So I know that this piece is descript because it's yellow, yellow, and red to red, and yellow, yellow, green to green. So these 2 pieces are descript, but these 2 pieces here are not. So let's take the ones that are good. So this one and this one, we're just going to do a UI move. Okay, so these are the 2 good ones. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the soon algorithm, which is R, U, R, I, U, R, 2U, R, I. And we're going to turn this so that we have, we still have the yellow cross, but now you can see that Well, actually, yeah, I guess I'm not going to have to. Oh no, I am going to have to do it. Um, you can turn it so that it still matches up, red to red and green to green. Okay, but this piece and this piece actually flipped. Okay, so now that these two pieces flipped, the cube should be unlocked, and this should be solvable now. I can look around the cube from here, 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 and here and see which one's correct, if any of them are correct. I know that this one here is correct because it's yellow, yellow, and green to green, so that's good. That's incorrect. That belongs over here. This one belongs over there, and this one belongs over here. Okay, so I have one correct and 1, 2, 3, three which are incorrect. So I'm going to turn this so that the correct piece is to my right. All right, and I'm going to do the corner shuffling algorithm, which is, so this one's correct, corner shuffling algorithm, which is URUILIURIUIL. Okay, this piece did not move, it just stayed just as it is, but this piece, this one, and this one shuffled. Okay, so obviously that did not shuffle correctly because it just needs to be the just the yellow on top. This piece belongs over here, and this piece belongs over here, and this piece belongs over here. So let's do this again. This time I'm going to do it much slower, and this should all work out. This is the correct piece. Keep it to your right, okay? And we're going to do that corner shuffling algorithm again, which is U, R, U, I, L, I, U, R, I, U, I, and L. Okay. So let's see. That shuffled in its correct, or remained the same. This shuffled into its correct position. This shuffled into its correct position, and this one's in its correct position. So this one remained its orientation correct, yellow, yellow, and green to green. This one just happened to fall into its correct orientation, yellow, yellow, and red to red. But this one and this one need to be rotated. So let me go ahead and show you how to rotate those.